Hello, my name is Kolo, and welcome back to another Spice and Wolf episode review. Okay, episode 18. This episode covers the rest of chapter 4 and some of chapter 5 from volume 3 of the light novel. Okay, the episode begins with Lawrence heading over to where Batos is at one of the taverns. So Lawrence gets to speaking to Batos and he asks him if he might be able to buy pyrite off of Diana, knowing that she doesn't like talking about business. Batos asks Lawrence why he's doing this and if it's for his own profit or not. And Lawrence explains to Batos that he's doing this for his cargo, as he says. Batos then tests Lawrence's patience, and that was all Batos needed to agree to help Lawrence. So then Batos points Lawrence to Diana and the secret password that he gives him. So then Lawrence heads over to Diana's place, saying the password. She of course lets him in. Diana then assumes that Lawrence got the password from Batos, and she knows that if Batos sent Lawrence over here, she knows that she can trust Lawrence. So then, talking a little bit about the password, Lawrence then springs the question of if he can buy some pyrite off of her. Diana then brings up that she already has a buyer and she might try to negotiate with them so that Lawrence can trade with them. And Lawrence says that he can buy at a higher price as long as it's not double the value. So then Diana says that she'll send a messenger tomorrow morning, and then they get done talking about all this business. And on his way out, Lawrence asks Diana if there are any stories of pagan gods and humans becoming coupled. Diana says there are, and Lawrence says that he might come back just to hear some of those stories. So then after speaking to Diana, Lawrence goes back to Mark's stall. And Lawrence comes back to a welcome surprise, with Mark telling Lawrence that he spread a little rumor and that he can help him out on the side. Lawrence then realizes that Mark is his friend and that he really never thought of him as a friend up till now. And it's a common problem that most traveling merchants face. And then Mark brings up the question to Lawrence, if they were to never see each other again, why would Mark go through all this trouble just for him? And Mark then tells Lawrence that he's running around frantically for a Holo, and he realizes that she is precious to him. And before Lawrence even realized it, he was protecting Holo, or cherishing her at that. Lawrence then thinks back to what Holo asked him, what is she to him and what is he to her? So then after Mark's little spiel, they have a drink for good luck, and Lawrence decides to sleep here at Mark's stall. So then the next morning, Lawrence wakes up and he sees Lant, Mark's errand boy. He asks him if he knows the plan or not, and Lawrence asks Lant if he can buy him some bread for breakfast. So then after getting breakfast, Lawrence goes to the board, the selling board, detailing that the pyrite has gone up 80 times than the usual price. Then we have this scene of Mark explaining what they're trying to do, or what Lawrence is trying to do with the selling of pyrite. I think this scene takes place later on in the light novel, but I don't really think it matters where this takes place. Mark says that Lawrence wants the price to crash, and he has to have the right mix of patience and perfect timing. Or right before the market starts, Lawrence sees Amarty with Holo in tow, and then Amarty gives him the coins they agreed on, but they are different coins than the 500 silver he wanted. And Amarty would have to trade for these coins, which meant the exchange rate would be a lot higher, meaning that he probably had excess money. That's what Lawrence was thinking. And it's a pretty good bluff from Amarty. And this makes Lawrence pretty nervous. And then the market bells ring, and Amarty seems pretty happy with himself, with Lawrence looking unsure of what he might do from now on. And that's where the episode ends. This episode was pretty economics driven. But I do really like this part here with Lawrence and Mark speaking because it shows character development. It shows how Lawrence has changed as a person and as a traveling merchant. That's why this arc is so good, because it's pretty good character development for both Holo and Lawrence. There's multiple things that Lawrence has to get through to get Holo back, but on the way he starts understanding a lot about himself and Holo, and he realizes a lot of his fault. He's definitely become a better merchant, but I think I'm going to end today's review here, and the next episode will probably be the end of this arc. So then, as always, tune in next week to see what happens next.